You have Donald Trump wearing makeup, so his face is three different colors. You see it right there. You have J.D. Vance going so heavy on the smoky eyeliner in the morning. And then just the absurdity of it all as Donald Trump is posting fraudulent deals, lying to the American people that Qatar is committing $1.2 trillion to the United States, when Qatar's GDP is $200 billion a year. Yes. So Qatar, yes, Donald Trump, Qatar has committed 6x its entire GDP to the United States. I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot of that money flow into the United States and help the American workers and help the American people who are suffering. I'm, of course, being sarcastic right there. American people are suffering here. They can't afford groceries. They can't afford basic necessities in life. Donald Trump ran on a fraud that he was going to make things cheaper on day one. He lied. Housing is not more affordable. It's less affordable. Right now, we're seeing the 20 and 30-year Treasury yields go up into areas that express extreme and utter volatility. And that also has an impact on things like mortgage rates and makes lending more difficult. You have Donald Trump promising that he was going to bring peace to Ukraine in 24 hours, peace to Gaza in 24 hours. It's just lie after lie after lie. But what Donald Trump does do is gimmicks. I call it a rug pull presidency. I call it a Ponzi scheme presidency. But to me, some of the most offensive things watching Donald Trump parade himself and his regime around these Middle East nations that he's paying homage to because their sovereign wealth funds are paying him off and bribing him off and buying him jets, is that how the hell is this helping the American people right now? You know, I know all of the MAGA people who live in their MAGA mush cult are like, yeah, he's going to Qatar. Did you see the motorcade when Donald Trump went to Lusail Palace? Oh my God, he went to Lusail Palace in Qatar with all of the gold on the wall and all of the diamonds out there. What are we talking about here? How is this helping American people? I'll tell you what's hurting American people. Trump's big, beautiful tax bill is a massive tax scam that does nothing that Donald Trump actually promised, but will rip Medicaid away from you. That's what it does. They may say, oh, trust me, we're not going to touch your Medicaid. They are. It's in the freaking bill. Also, when you look at Donald Trump's tax bill right now that the GOP is trying so hard to push through, in addition to having trillions of dollars in tax cuts for the billionaires, which they then need to raise the debt ceiling by at least $4 trillion, you also look at it and it has some really dangerous policies as well. Like it has a 10-year ban on states' rights, a 10-year ban on states from regulating artificial intelligence in their states. It's the federal government is not regulating AI, and Donald Trump wants to give all of these handouts to his tech bros and oligarchs like Elon Musk and Sam Altman and others. Donald Trump is preventing states from engaging in common sense regulation of AI. So states are banned from it. And you know what? This has real world implications. We saw today Elon Musk's AI just randomly spewing lies about South African white people being subject to a massive genocide taking place right now. And then if you ask Grok what was going on, even Grok says we've been programmed by our creator, Elon Musk, to lie to people. So under this GOP tax bill, they slipped something in that says states couldn't regulate that. States couldn't regulate, say, like AI images of name, image, and likeness of people, or like, AI that does sex shaming, all that stuff. The AI companies are getting Donald Trump to sneak this in the bill. It's a paid for presidency right now. And here, Donald Trump posts memes like this. This is an actual post from Donald Trump. The return of the GOAT America is respected again. And it's a photo of himself with MBS. So Trump's just going palace hopping to the various Middle East leaders who run sovereign wealth funds, who buy off Donald Trump and Trump's family, right? So he was with MBS and the Saudis who are building Trump resorts. You've got Donald Trump going to the Qataris who buy off Donald Trump. By the way, here's a fun fact that isn't getting enough attention about that gold-plated jet that Donald Trump won so badly from Qatar. Qatar pulled the same scam, the same scheme with Turkey's leader. And Turkey's leader accepted it. So Donald Trump's getting, the seconds or the thirds right now after Qatar pulled the same thing with Turkey. Now, normally the United States of American president would say, what the hell are you talking about? I'm not taking a gold-plated jet from Qatar. But if you take a look at Donald Trump's the Oval Office right now under Donald Trump, just think about how bad he wants to pretend that he's like in a royal family. Just think about how bad, he literally has fake gold painted stuff and has turned the Oval Office into the most gaudy, disgusting looking things imaginable. But let's talk about the real world implications of it. Because, when we talk about, Donald Trump's getting a gold plated jet, this, that, I always want to connect it to Donald Trump is so focused on making himself rich and having Middle East countries buy himself crypto. And what does he try to do? He tries to distract us all with culture wars here in the United States to divide us against each other, pit American against American, so he and the oligarchs can take for us while Americans are suffering, while they take away our Medicaid, they take away our health care, they run these scams where Donald Trump says, look, my executive order says that I'm going to cut health care costs by 80%. Look, I signed an executive order. Yeah, you're signing, it doesn't do a thing. An executive order is not a law. It's just more of your fraudulent, phony behavior. I think Americans are realizing what is happening, don't you? I mean, take a look at what happened in Omaha, Nebraska. In Omaha, Nebraska, there was a mayor who was the longest serving Republican incumbent in the United States of America. Jean Stothert was her name. And she went full MAGA in the last election, where she spent all this time focused on talking about bathrooms and peepees and vaginas and gender and sports and men and women's sports and punching down at the transgender community. All that bullshit is what she spent her time. And she had previously won her last election. I think she was serving for about 12 years before. Again, longest serving Republican incumbent mayor in the United States. Well, she lost to the Democrat, where she previously won by 20 points in the last election. This election, she lost by 7. We're seeing this trend across the country. Why? Because we all Americans are recognizing, by and large, that this Trump MAGA thing is some weirdo freaking cult, authoritarian bullshit, giving Donald Trump gold-plated jets, and Americans are suffering. Americans aren't being tricked when Donald Trump says, I've solved inflation. It's better. You can afford homes now. No, people can't, Donald. You didn't solve anything. And by the way, when Sean Hannity was trying to prompt Donald Trump about what to say, Trump couldn't even handle it. So Trump had to correct Hannity when Hannity was praising Donald Trump's trade deal with China, which was not a trade deal. It was a capitulation where Donald Trump just pulled back the problems he created. He pulled back the tariff and made China look like the reasonable adult and America look like a crazy person. Since January 20th, I think Reuters did this analysis, the United States has changed trade and tariff policies 50 to 55 times. About every 2 days, the United States rolls out a new trade policy. Why do you think the 20 and 30-year Treasury yield is going so high and may hit 5%? So why do you think? Because of the instability that Trump is creating. So here Donald Trump refers to the consensus with China as a concept of a deal. Let's play it.
Well, actually, on Sunday, you announced a deal with China.
Yeah.
How did that happen that quickly?
Well, they met on Saturday and Sunday, and they had a deal pretty much from the beginning. It was the concept of a deal.
And doesn't that remind you of on December 8th, 2024, when Donald Trump talked about having concepts of a healthcare plan? Here, let's play this clip right here.
Replacing Obamacare for 10 years, and then he voted against. Nobody understands it.
Sir, you said during the campaign you had concepts of a plan. Do you have an actual plan at this point for health care?
Yes, we have concepts of a plan that would be better.
Still just concepts? Do you have a fully developed plan?
Let me explain. We have the big...
One of the things I want to point out as well, and I'm going to do a whole other video on this, is that one of the deals that we know that Trump just did is he made a deal with the family of El Chapo to bring 17 family members of El Chapo without consulting Mexico about it. Apparently, the Department of Justice is trying to work out some deal with Chapo's son, who's previously been extradited to the United States. So we let in 17 members of the Chapo family. So ridiculous. Let me just show you this one before we go. 2 clips, I think, sum it all up. Here is Benny Thompson, Democratic Congress member right here. So what he had to say to Kristi Noem about her cosplaying. Let's play this clip.
Secretary Noem, I'm glad you found time among your many photo ops and costume changes to testify about why President Trump is seeking more taxpayer dollars and what you plan to do with that money if you get it.
And then here is AOC right here talking about Medicaid cuts. Let's play it.
There are 13.7 million Americans on the other side of that screen right there. Hello? Hello. I'm talking to you because I work for you. And they deserve to see what is happening here, because there are plenty of districts, including Republican ones, where 25% of your constituents are on Medicaid, 40% of your constituents are on Medicaid. And yes, I am talking.
Will the gentlelady yield?
I am talking to them, and I will not yield because it was a terribly disrespectful comment, and I will not yield to disrespectful men. Thank you very much.
Finally, Donald Trump here was asked about the United Arab Emirates, the Abu Dhabi fund, buying all of his crypto up. And Trump's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. $2 billion, Donald. You don't know about the Abu Dhabi crypto deal for $2 billion. Here, play this clip.
President, an Emirati government that did a $2 billion deal. An Emirati government did a $2 billion deal using the Trump digital coins. How did that deal come about?
I don't know anything about it. I really don't know anything about it, but I'm a big crypto fan, I will tell you. I've been that from the beginning, right from the campaign. I'm a believer in crypto, and if we're not going to do it, China's going to do it. The way I look at it, it's like AI. I'm a believer in AI because we have to have it. We're leading China by a lot. And in crypto, we're leading China by a lot. So I'm a big crypto fan.
You didn't know about that?
No.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers. And thanks for watching.
New Midas merch drop. Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more. All at store.MeidasTouch.com.